Beyond the buzzer, inside the game, this is Sports IQ with Larry Smith.
Hopefully you're enjoying your holiday week here. Larry Smith here, the Sports IQ with Larry Smith. Giving our crew a few days off here to spend some time with their families. We've got some great stuff here still coming up, so be sure to stay with us. Today we have a couple of great interviews. Matt Morrison, we recently talked to him, our former colleague at CNN Sports, a longtime sportscaster. He was a college baseball star at UCLA before that. We like to tease him about his baseball years with the Bruins. He has a new book out called Touched, the Marin Morrison Story. It talks about his daughter. And so we had that interview recently. It went really, really well. We had a great response. We thought we would run that again here today. And then our coach, Coach Nolan, who coaches a high school football team in Minnesota. Actually does a lot of things. He's a football coach, basketball coach, baseball coach, athletic director. I think, sets up the gyms. I mean, he is busy in northern Minnesota. But the big story is his football team has not won a game this century. How do you keep the interest? How do you keep that going? Very unique story that producer Tony found and got him to come on the show. That also was really entertaining. So hopefully you'll stay and stick around for that as well. We'll chat some stuff later on. We've got some WNBA interesting tidbit, Michigan coaching stuff we'll talk about. And a really good moment of awe at the end of the show. You want to stick around for that, too. It's really, really good stuff. If you're traveling, be sure to catch us. Again, Apple, Spotify, everywhere else. If you are finding us for the first time, we're a bunch of guys who get together and we just do good content. We're longtime broadcasters. We don't get into the shock jock stuff and the screaming and yelling and cursing and name-calling, all that. Really good content. If you go through the archives and what we have on Apple, Spotify, everywhere else, I think you'll find some guests. Some you'll know, some you may not, but we can guarantee you every day is really good conversation. You'll come away every single time learning something about your favorite sport. Now, keep in mind, coming up on Friday, I promised earlier in the week we do some college football trivia. And that is coming up on Friday, the day after Christmas. Kind of our little Christmas gift for you. You've opened all the stuff under the tree, and we want to present you something else that you probably did not get. And that is some knowledge on the 8 teams that'll be playing in the college football playoff quarterfinals next week, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And so that is coming up as well. Also on Friday, my conversation from a while back with Eric Kramer, the former NFL quarterback, just a tremendous story. And he really opens up talking about just kind of what he endured in his post-career, the heartache he went through, and his road back now. It is just, again, an interview I think you'll enjoy. So, okay, with that said, let's get to my conversation with Matt Morrison, and we'll come back with some other news here in the next segment here on the Sports IQ with Larry Smith. This next segment is really personal to myself and producer Tony. Matt Morrison is somebody who a great college athlete, played baseball at UCLA, turned that into a sportscasting career, long career that he worked with us for several years at CNN Sports, and fantastic guy, great family, 3 kids, and 2 of them still here with us, and 1 here with us in spirit. And he's written a great book about this, detailing the journey that he and his family took. It's called Touched, the Marin Morrison Story. And with that, Matt Morrison, we are thrilled to have you here on the Sports IQ, my friend. How are you?
I'm great, Larry, and it's terrific to see you again and hang, and it's like old times. But you, me, Tony Cordero go back a long way, and I'm thrilled to be able to be the first guest, to have me as the guest for the first time to discuss Marin's book. It's a known story, but it's taken 15 years in development and the last 12 years writing it and last year publishing it, or editing and publishing. So it's been a long time coming, and you were there at the outset of the beginning of it.
Yeah. It was full disclosure. Matt and I, again, like you said, friends going way back. When Marin first began to have some health issues, she had surgery, and my wife and I surprised you and came by the hospital just to offer support and prayer, and obviously followed her journey all the way through. Why don't we start with kind of, let's just say, first of all, she was a fantastic competitive swimmer. was headed towards a fantastic career. When did you first notice that there was something was amiss with Marin?
Well, to begin with, she was diagnosed with epilepsy when she was 2 years old.
Mm.
So we had from toddler on, we had medical concerns all the way through. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor at 14. This was at the culmination of her freshman high school season, where she was, you know, uh, one of the best in the state of Georgia. And some symptoms developed that were just undeniable, and a brain tumor was diagnosed when she was 14. And she was a terrific swimmer. It was definitely Olympic trials caliber. She was right on the cusp of that at 13 years old. I'm confident she would have been an Olympic trials participant, but she had the grit and determination and fortitude that who knows what she could have done. What she did do was go back to swimming as a disabled athlete after the second of 4 brain surgeries left her paralyzed, hemiparalysis, and she made her dream come true because she swam for the USA in the 2008 Paralympic Games. And it was very inspiring and a hell of a journey. And it's a tragic circumstance, but it was an incredibly inspiring story based on her personality.
And she was, as I recall, full of life. And even to see her there, I know you did too, her first surgery. Obviously, as a parent, you have such hope, and I know the doctors work so hard. How long was her struggle with this after the first surgery until God called her home?
She was diagnosed in February of 2005, had brain surgery a week later, went back to swimming, and we were monitoring the diagnosis, which at the time said this brain tumor appears to be benign. No go. 6 months later, regrowth, more resection surgery, and she was left paralyzed. It was as if she had a stroke. The right side of her body was completely damaged.
Okay.
She rehabbed really hard to recover as much movement as she could. And along the way, swimming therapy became a goal again. And she told the Make-A-Wish Foundation in 2005 when they visited, because doctors presumed she had a terminal case of brain cancer, that she said, well, I would, if I had any wish, it would be go to Beijing in 2008 for the Olympic swimming.
Yeah.
And and the Make-A-Wish Foundation was beautiful about it. And they're like, oh, well, that's kind of 4 years away. And she goes, I know, that's when I can make it. And her goal was to swim in Beijing. And she did.
At the water cube, the famous water cube right there.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Great.
It was beautiful. And to answer your question, Larry, she died 4 months after the 2008 games in September. She died January 2nd, 2009.
Okay. And at what age was she then? 18?
She was 18.
Okay, that's right.
So anyway, it's hard when we get together as old friends to talk about the situations in life that have occurred. And again, this was 15 years ago. And my journey since, it's become a happy one.
Good.
Tragic circumstances, but a lot of uplift. And I like to think that I expressed it in the book as it's Marin's story. It is a family story. It's a dad's story. It's a parent's story. But in the whittling it down all the way through, I really feel like I got Marin's story out there.
What did this mean for you? And again, we're talking with Matt Morrison, a former college athlete, also a longtime sportscaster, and just a very inspirational book that he's written, Touched, the Marin Morrison Story. It's out now. You can find it anywhere that you get great books. How important was this for you to therapy for your own soul, to sit down and write this book as a dad, as someone who is full of love, and someone who is a journalist, and you spent your whole life telling stories and giving news and being a presenter?
Yeah, it's been a process, Larry, and it's been, as I said, 15 years in development, and it's all about life and change and this and that. Our first priority, my marriage did not survive the loss of our child, 23-year marriage. within the first year after Marin's loss, we were in the process of divorcing, but we had 2 younger children. And Cammie and Michael have grown up great. And that was kind of the process of the last 15 years was, okay, yeah, I'm going to write this book. And I've been writing it for 12 years. I've absolutely been writing it. But at the same time, you're raising children. You're a line in my epilogue says it all, really. Real life never relents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was going on. And the book was there. And I did a lot of research. And then again, as I explained, when I really got down to the nitty gritty of shaping it, it took so long because I used CaringBridge journal entries, our logs that people followed this medical story on, and then a lot of their reactions, which were so vital in telling this story, for people to get a feel for Marin, all her friends checking in and admirers checking in and people around the world. It's really a special story.
Yeah. What do you think you gained from it now that it's completed and it's out there? Looking back,
I would have been a total jerk if I did not write this story properly. That was my daughter. I just, what? I feel like I'm getting ready to retire, Larry. I need money, so I got to keep working. But as far as my life projection, this is the only book I need to write.
Yeah. What do you hope that people will get from the book after they read it?
I think, the positivity of Marin's spirit is what I hope shines through.
Mm-hmm.
Relentless, the fortitude and the good will that she had through all the difficulties that she dealt with and all the heights that she reached, the humility with which she, and that rubs off. And you see it in a lot of the little stories about the many different people. It's a book about a lot of people because it just shines the light on all the people, you included. There's a good story you all appreciate about very similar to the encounter you and I had, Larry, but Ernie Johnson, a very special hospital visit. Barry Zito came, did something incredibly unforeseen, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know that all of this, we would try to stop in, and I know even I mentioned to you, I would say, look, this is very personal for you, and even though we may not visit often, know that you are in our hearts every day, and we pray for you every day, and for Marin and your entire family. It's been wonderful to watch you over the years and the pictures of your kids. I have not seen as much of your daughter, but one thing that did stick out is your son went on to play some college sports as well. And as soon as I saw the announcement, I went, just like Dad. There he goes.
Michael's grown up great. He has delivered us our beautiful granddaughter, Lainey Glenn Morrison, a year and a half ago. Mike has an all-time college football record that shall never be broken.
Okay.
May I brag on my son?
Absolutely.
He went to Division III, University of Chicago. He was a smart kid. And on his first play from scrimmage as a defensive back, he got an interception.
Wow.
That can't be broken.
Yeah. You gets no better than that.
He played 2 years of football at Chicago, and then he transferred back to Chapman here in Orange County, and he played 2 years of lacrosse and became a dad.
Yeah. I remember that he was in high school as a star in both sports, if I recall reading that correctly, right? Both football and
He was good football, good lacrosse, and good young man. Better than that, a good dad and father, so and husband. So good deal.
How did this as again, as a I'm seeing this through the eyes of a parent, how did this I know you've talked about how it affected you and your wife. What was the impact of Marin's loss on your kids, and how do you think this may be therapeutic for them as well to kind of get this story out there that the family endured?
Yeah, I don't know what the impact is yet because I don't know what either of my children's reaction to reading the book is. I know my son has not quite read it yet. I do not even have the proper copy of the book in my own hands yet. So they're just now getting out there. So thank you for promoting it with me, or just at least getting the word out there.
Sure.
That was a very sensitive portion of publishing this, was how are my kids going to react? But I just had to tell the story the way I knew it And my goal was to make it Marin's story. When I first started writing it and came out of the gate with a lot of words, I sent some sample chapters to agents and publishers. And the feedback that I took from, a little bit of feedback was, hi, can we know more about Marin? We realize you were in the sports world and your kid was a swimmer, but what about this girl? So I spent the next 10 years shaping the book to try to, okay, are people going to know Marin? And I do think I accomplished it the best I could. Very difficult. She had speech. She couldn't communicate very well, but there was so much more about her that I hoped would come out in this, and I think it has.
Yeah. There are people who will hear this and either they or they know somebody who may be going through a similar situation with a loved one, with a child in this. What advice would you give to them? Someone that has their child go into something it's an unknown and it's scary.
Yes, it is. Interestingly, that's a big theme in the book to me, even if it's subtle, is you start to realize how many people are dealing with special needs children and you don't know about them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on out there. And when you feel that community of, oh, they're suffering too, I can help them, they can help me, you start to realize there's a big web out there. And that's a big theme in this book, is that there's a lot of people out there that are raising a special needs child or a sick child or have lost a child. And, you learn that when you go through it, and it's special,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my friend, it's good to see you. I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate your trust in myself and in Tony and Josh to get your story out there. I can't wait to sit down and read it. I can't wait to tell people about it. I hope that it does well for all the reasons that it should. And man, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Like I said, what a great, wonderful work as a father, as a man, as a human being, and somebody who cares about others. So we appreciate you doing this and appreciate you taking the time with us as well.
Larry, I appreciate you, my friend, and Tony as well. You guys are great. As far as I'm concerned, as long as the story goes out, I don't care what sells. If you buy one copy and give it to 10 people after you read it, just Marin's story speaks for itself. And I'm just really proud that I feel like I did her justice by getting it out there properly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, my friend, thanks again. And hopefully let's not make another 20 years before we talk again.
All right. I'll try to do something great again to get on your show.
There you go. We'll do that. So no, we've talked in 20 years, but not.
All right. Well, I did send you guys a copy, and there is quite a bit of CNN stuff in there, so you'll enjoy it.
Excellent. Matt, my friend, thanks so much. Love to your family and all the best. We'll take
love you too, Larry. Love you, Tony. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Thanks so much. Matt Morrison, once again, great story. Just put out his first book, and it's a special one, Touched, the Marin Morrison Story. It is it's published. It's out. Go to Amazon, wherever you find your books. Pick this up. As we talked about, getting a chance to know Marin a little bit during early on in her struggles. This is a story that I can guarantee you, is a must-read. It is something in there for everyone. Okay, we appreciate Matt's time as well. Okay, Sports IQ with Larry Smith continues after this.
Fans of big sports radio and sports spectacular podcasts have a new home on the Chief Sports Network. Find your favorite programs and content all in one place by downloading the Chief Sports app in your mobile device. Created in South Carolina, the Chief Sports Network is the home of an expanding network of live and podcast format programming. It is also the home of one of the leading national college football podcasts, JC and Morgan, hosted by ESPN's Mike Morgan and 24/7 Sports' JC Sherbert. Download the Chief Sports app for free and find all of your favorite programming under one easy umbrella. Thanks to all of our markets for your loyal support of Big Sports Radio and our Sports Spectacular podcast, and we look forward to connecting with you anywhere in the world on the Chief Sports app.
You're listening to Sports IQ with Larry Smith.
Glad you're still with us here. Larry Smith here, the Sports IQ, producer Tony, editor Josh. Glad you're here. The Michigan coaching situation, we've talked quite a bit about the coaching carousel, right? And since really Deshaun Foster being fired by UCLA after an 0-3 start, Britt Pry with the getting fired by Virginia Tech, same 0-3 start. That was unusual. Teams off to a not so good start. It was the firing of James Franklin after they went out and lost to that woeful UCLA team out in the Rose Bowl, and then came back and laid an egg against Northwestern, which it turned out the Wildcats actually, bowl eligible. Turned out it wasn't that bad of a loss. But Penn State hadn't played a Power 4 team in their non-conference slate, and then were really getting exposed, right? They had the overtime loss against Oregon at home. Again, that's not a bad loss, but it was one of those where they just off to a good start, 0-3 against Power 4 teams. And so the firing of James Franklin, and that kind of began just this crazy, crazy scene. And so much of this, again, perpetuated by the new world of college football, right? The early signing day coming up, the main signing day now is right there, that first Wednesday of December. The transfer portal opens a week from Friday. So you've got to get these things in place. You can't afford really to wait, as we're seeing right now with, Penn State was late hiring somebody, and Matt Campbell now trying to put together a recruiting class after I think they had only 4 high school recruits sign on signing day. And so you try to play catch up. So the story now with Michigan, with the Sharon Moore situation, and what we understand from the court records, the arrest documents, is that, again, he had a long relationship with a staffer there in the University of Michigan Athletic Department. And as that came to light, there was some investigation that happened before, couldn't get proof of it. But then the woman involved actually, after she tried to break off the relationship, she then went to university officials after Moore had made some phone calls and text messages, that kind of thing. Again, all this is just from the arrest record. And then he was fired, and now he's facing some charges with his actions after that. But what all this means, all this happened after signing day. And so it has put one of the premier programs in all of college football in a bit of disarray. The interim coach, Briff Pokey, he would like to have this job. But, again, he's a holdover from the Jim Harbaugh regime, which has turned out to be not really an upstanding group of people, as we're going to talk about here in a minute. I mean, Harbaugh himself, an 8-year show cause, he's making a ton of money in the NFL, so you can suffice to say that Harbaugh will never again coach in college football. It just would seem very unlikely. And now Manuel, of course, the Connor Stallions has become a household name with the stuff that he was doing, for this program. And it's amazing for a football program that had an undefeated national championship just 2 years ago. The things that have happened in the past, 23 months are astonishing, to say the least. So here's the thing. Athletic Director Ward Manuel said a few days ago, telling this in the Detroit Free Press, that they expect a decision here sometime between Christmas and New Year's Day. Again, the portal opens on January 2nd. So what will happen? There was so much talk of possibly being a Kalen DeBoer. There was some thinking that, if Alabama, lost to Oklahoma on the road in the college football playoff opener, then it would open the door then for DeBoer to then leave Tuscaloosa and go to Ann Arbor. Well, that didn't happen, so many think that possibly he's out. Kenny Dillingham, the outstanding Arizona State coach, very young, in his mid-30s, who went to Arizona State. He signed a 5-year extension. It appears now that he is out. And so now there's another group of candidates. One name that has come to the surface is Louisville's Jeff Brom. There has been some reporting there may be some mutual interest there. But again, we'll see what's happening. The thing now is the coaches that you may have on your short list, they're getting ready for bowl games and about to leave to go play in their bowl games, somewhere, go coach in their games. So we'll see what happens, Reese. This is going to happen pretty soon. Again, they try to get it in place before the transfer portal opens. You are Michigan. You do have a young star quarterback in the Underwood kid who started for you as a true freshman, and you'd like to keep him as well as several others and see if they're going to come in. You've already just lost your offensive coordinator. He just left, we reported earlier this week. And so, again, folks are taken off. He went to Missouri to go work with the Tigers program under Eli Drinkwitz. Meanwhile, a former Michigan assistant coach, Matt Weiss, taking down more than photos and videos from more than 3,300 student athletes. That's again from the Detroit Free Press, many of them women, and they represented more than 100 universities. And so now he faces 14 counts of unauthorized access and 10 counts of aggravated identity theft as part of this FBI probe. Again, he was a Michigan assistant football. He was part of the Michigan football program under Harbaugh. There's another separate case now that 70 women claim that Weiss hacked into their private accounts and stole personal pictures. So, again, for Ward Manuel, you've got a situation where, in basketball, you hired a Michigan man in Juwan Howard. I thought that was a great hire. I'm a fan of Juwan's story of where he came from in Chicago, going to Michigan, part of the Fab Five, 20-year career as a player in the NBA, went on to be a coach, spent several years, almost a de facto players coach, in fact, for a while, and actually was literally an assistant coach coming to Michigan, had success on the court, and then things began unraveling after the, off the court, the stuff during a timeout during the Big Ten tournament against Maryland's Mark Turgeon, the slap to the head of a Wisconsin assistant coach after the Badgers upset his Wolverines, and then finally literally attacking a guy in the strength conditioning coach after he disagreed with, Howard's own son wouldn't do the program they wanted to do and work out when he wanted to work out. And then daddy gets involved. So you had all that scandal that you've corrected now, it appears, with Dusty May. Now you have another Michigan man in Jim Harbaugh. And while he won a title, boy, just the collateral damage. That's why, Weiss is part of this. Do you keep Hoagies? He's still a part of that. Sherrod Moore, what happened? It may be wise. No offense, Matt Weiss. It may be wise if you are Ward Manuel just to clean and get somebody who's not a Michigan man, clean house, and just get this ready the way you need to. It's ugly. It's ugly. But again, apparently he has his sights set on someone, and it appears a decision is imminent. So watch this space. All right, we'll talk to our favorite high school football coach. Great conversation that we had before about what he endures day in, day out to keep the youth in his community motivated. That's next.
You're locked in to Sports IQ with Larry Smith.
One of the things that we like to do here in Sports IQ is sometimes we run across really cool stories. And producer Tony found this a story, ran across this, and this was a gentleman we wanted to talk to. It's a story of the football team on the Red Lake Indian Reservation. The story, and we'll get with the coach here in a moment, says they have only 12 kids that are on the team. You need 11 to play, right? at one time on the field. They only have 12. This is a team that unfortunately has not won a game since 1999. But that doesn't matter because what's going on with this team goes far beyond the football field. And so joining us now, the coach of the team is Nolan Desjarlais joining us. Nolan, great to have you. Welcome to Sports IQ.
Thank you. It's an honor. It's an honor, Larry.
Appreciate it. We'll talk about this team. You've been the coach now for a number of years. Kind of explain to us, you were saying before we came on, this is over on the Red Lake Indian Reservation, and you guys are about 100 miles south of the Canadian border. Am I getting that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Tell us about just overall the reservation and just kind of lay the groundwork for us there. What's going on in the town?
Red Lake Reservation is a closed reservation. There is two of them in the U.S. that are currently closed reservations. We have our own sovereignty here. We have over 17,000 enrolled members in Red Lake. That 10,000 live on the reservation, and there's several thousand live throughout U.S.
Wow. Okay. So when you say it's closed, explain what does that mean?
That means we have our own police department. We have our own generating stores, casinos. We don't have like resorts or anything like the other reservations. What is here is ours. We don't share it with nobody.
Okay. So like you said, you're sovereign. I mean, you're on your own town, your own government, your own municipalities. Those kinds of things are all yours and not belong to the government.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fair enough. Talk about the history of the football team. Obviously, sports a big part of all of our communities. you've been a part of this program for a long time. Tell us how this came to pass.
I became the AD in 2007. When I took over the AD spot, I wanted to find out where we were in our football programs. One of my main objective was, when I first became the AD, was to get all of my teams in a conference, because we weren't in a conference. Like for football, back before I got here, we had good football programs all the way until the year 2000. Once our boys basketball team starts making it to state, a lot of the parents are like, hey, you guys don't play football here, you're going to get hurt for basketball season coming up. So everybody still goes on with that myth, you play football, you're going to get hurt. No, it's not really that case. It's really a mindset. Are you prepared? Are you prepared for football? Are you prepared for basketball? I tell them, if you play football, it does prepare you for basketball, conditioning wise, eligibility wise, because you have kids who will just show up on November and ready and want to win the state title when realistically the training starts when your season ends last year.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's been a basketball power now for a number of years.
Yes. And like I said, when I first took it in 2007, we had coaches in play, ready to go. We were a week away from our first. It was a JV game. We were a week away, and the coaches both resigned. So it left me trying to find coaches. Nobody wanted to do it. Nobody was interested. And since I'm the AD, I had to fill in the spot. So it didn't matter to me, because before the AD spot, I was the junior high football coach. And we had good numbers throughout the program.
Yeah. So is that, the story here is a few months old, and it mentions only 12 players on the team. Is that still accurate? Have you been able to recruit some more numbers to help out?
Oh, yes, we do have more numbers. A ballpark number, we say we get like 18 kids. This year we started off with 44 kids at the top of the season, and then once the season started moving along, kids didn't want to play. Bigger schools that we do play, because we have double A's, single A schools. We are a single A school.
So you mentioned that, but still, to have even 18 is a quantum leap from having 12. I mean, still not ideal. It's hard to do a scrimmage, but it's still better.
Yeah, I would say, whatever they give you, you got to go with it, or you're just gonna quit and fold. That's me. Not in my mindset. Quit and fold is not part of my vocabulary.
Yeah. What's it like being a part of? I assume, did you play football as a youth in your life?
Yeah, I played football, baseball, basketball, whatever is fun at the time. I was always playing.
Yeah. Now, are you from that area or another part of the country?
I'm born and raised in Red Lake Reservation.
Okay. So you're
hometown.
right there. Okay.
Yeah, homegrown.
Yeah. So you've seen all that. How frustrating is it for you to go out there every Friday night, knowing you're shorthanded and knowing that you're going to have to depend on the guys to play a whole 32 minutes with very little substitutions?
It does get frustrating, but it's either you want to go play the game that the kids like and love, or do you want to stay home and take the L and just not even try to make an effort to go win a football game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just pretty much try to keep the fire lit underneath the kids. I just say, if you guys want to go this week, let me know. If you guys really don't want to go, I hear you. I feel you. We can just forfeit that game, and hopefully we get some players for the next game. But most of the kids don't want to go home on a Friday night. They'd rather come hang out and go play football with their classmates. Mm-hmm. Football under the lights. We have brand new stadium lights here in Red Lake. We just got the brand new scoreboard, also digital scoreboard. Nice. So the recruitment for football players, it's there. We just need more kids to come participate. And like right now, I am the basketball coach, and we do have 42 kids that are out for basketball. Mm. And if we ever mixed our basketball and football kids together, we would have around 60 to 70 kids on the team, practicing, getting along with each other. but it's stepping stones.
Yeah, baby steps. Well, you're
Yes.
staying right there with it, and great determination, and your will. I know is going to make this turn around and get more kids out there. For those kids who do stick with this, and 12 at one time, 18 right now, hopefully more in the future. What do you think they take away that the other students who have an opportunity that choose not to do this, that maybe they don't get?
Well, we do get a lot of I get more football recruitment emails, letters for football players than I do basketball.
Wow.
And I tell the kids that who say, hey, it's your chance to get a scholarship and move off the res and go see the real life. Once you get out in the real world, you kind of understand, there is more life than here in Red Lake.
Yeah. And you feel like the kids, I know you've had, like I said, get some recruiting mail. Where have some of your kids gone on to play college ball?
I went over at Deep River College, Northland Community College. He's a lineman over there. That was probably my first year coaching. He was a freshman. He played all 4 years with me. He never missed practice. Very coachable. He understood the game. He was a very good recruiter for me when I started. He was a very friendly kid. Very friendly.
Mm-hmm. What do you think this has meant to the community? Do you get a decent crowd coming out? Do you get some community support for what you're trying to do with football?
We get community support. When we do have home football games, there's a lot of family that are there to watch their kids play. Also, aunties, uncles, grandma, grandpas, all the way down the line. It's a good atmosphere to be in.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're describing is a very familial situation. A lot of history there, like people like yourself who have been there for generations. Just the history of the reservation. What do you think? What that means to not just the players, but the community as well? Because I know that they're obviously clearly very aware of what you're trying to accomplish and your passion for this.
They see what I do. I'm trying to get like flag football for the elementary boys. It takes, because I do the practice from 3:30 to 5 with my varsity, and then would have the elementary kids coming right after that. And once in a while, my varsity players would hang out and help me get it organized and go from there. They were really big helps, and hopefully, if we get some community members who like to come out and volunteer and help us, that would be a big plus.
Yeah, talking here.
I receive a lot of criticism here, like, you guys can come out and help me if you want to,
Exactly. There's plenty of room, plenty of work to be done. Speaking of, okay, so you're the athletic director, you're the football coach, you're the basketball coach. Do you have
Baseball
a family?
coach.
And baseball coach too? Do you have any free time, or do you have a family?
No, I do have a family. I'm a girl dad. My daughter, she's the head coach here at Red Lake High School, girls basketball. She graduated from Hibbing Community College along with Chicago Concordia University.
Okay.
She's going for degree number 3 at BSU at Bemidji State University. And I have 3 other daughters. Skylar, she's in 7th grade. She's now starting middle school hoops. And I have Emerald, she's in 4th grade. She's a baller. We call her MJ. My youngest is Asia. She's daddy's girl. Wherever I go, she goes. And then last but not least, my son, he passed away 10 years ago. He would have been a phenomenal athlete, way better than I was. So, yeah. And as far as, for doing anything, I don't ice fish. I don't hunt. I don't have time for that. It's everybody's favorite time here, but my favorite time is being in a gym. Nice and quiet, getting some shots up, going with some instructions with my kids, other kids. And we do have like basketball community events every now and then. So we get kids to come out and check it out. And I am also the community director also. So I wear a lot of hats in the school.
Yeah, you do. It sounds like this is a passion. Aside from that, you have so much going on. Like you said, you're a girl dad, a lot of things happening in your personal life. Why do you continue to do this on this level? And it sounds like work at this 365 a year.
Oh, I love it. It keeps me chill. Keeps keeps me sane. Put it that way. I love working with the kids. They love working with me. Their parents. I know that I coach a lot of the parents of the kids I have now. So I do feel old. I am 51, going on 52. I love to play sports still. I play at softball pretty much every weekend when I can. League nights, basketball. I have slowed down a little bit. The basketball game is getting too fast for me. Golf. I never tried golf before. Never in my life. I won't ever do it either.
I was going to say that there's always time, maybe.
Yeah, there is time, but I do like the idea of frisbee golf. I've seen that before. So we do have some courts in Bemidji with the frisbee golf. We can go throw the frisbee, enjoy a good walk in the woods, see some eagles. Who knows? Nice.
Well, as we started off, it's been a long time since the program, the Warriors, since they have won a game. If you got to win on the football field, and one day it's going to happen, how do you think you'll react?
Been through so many games, win, lose, I just take it, just be humble about it. I'm not going to jump for joy or just raise my hand, and just like any other victory, just keep moving.
Yeah.
But I know the kids will like it more than I do. The whole program will, but that is their program. They're the kids of the program. Like I always tell them, this is your school, your program. I'm just here to help you guys.
Yeah. Very quickly, I know there is a film that was out earlier this year called Through the Storm that someone did on your team. Can you tell us about that and where people who might be interested could see that?
Through the Storm right now is currently on YouTube. You just click up Through the Storm and you'll see our documentary on there. We had Voyager film crew. Charles Frank came up. Mr. Fritz came up. The producers. They did a really good job of coming to see the kids themselves. They didn't really, I'm glad, they did more with the kids than rather on the headline itself. You see more about the kids, a little bit of what I do in there also. And you'll see some, we had it was almost like a monsoon, or it was just storm and raining hard. So when you guys do watch the film, you'll see the rain and what kind of conditions we do play in. Okay. Sometimes we do have snow on the ground when we play.
Okay.
Like several years ago, the last game we had, there was 6 inches of snow on the field, and the field was just plowed just the 10, the 20, the 30, and the out of bounds. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. It was something you see like on NFL games. I was like, hey, they got snow over there. And then actually to play in it too, it was the kids had fun that were there, that played in it. I'll never forget it though. It was fun.
I bet. Well, Nolan, we've taken up about 15 minutes of your time here. There's probably a team waiting for you to go coach them. So we will let you go. Man, great to talk with you. I appreciate your spirit and your passion, and we'll be rooting for you to have success. You're already having success in life with these young men, but we look forward to you getting that W on the board and allowing them to celebrate it in a very special way.
Yes. Thank you. When it comes, it comes. We don't, like I always said, don't wait for something when you know it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, thank you. Nolan Desjarlais once again joining us. He is the head coach of many sports, not just football, the Red Lake Warriors. They're in the Red Lake Indian Reservation in northern Minnesota, looking for that win, but already succeeding and getting lots of victories in life up there as well with the young people that he works with. Okay, it's a Sports IQ. We've got more to come after this.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right. For about $50 a month, you'll get lightning-fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't don't like it, you get your money back. But you're going to love it, and you're going to love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now. 800-215-0341. 800-215-0341. 800-215-0341. That's 800-215-0341.
By the way, Forbes just put out the first ever most valuable women's teams in the world, and the top 5, all from the WNBA. The Liberty valued by Forbes at $400 million. Indiana Fever, $370. Seattle Storm, $330. Las Vegas Aces, after their third title in 4 years, $310 million. And then the Phoenix Mercury at $300 million valuation. By the way, the Fever, number 1 in revenue, $32 million. That, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect. Now, you may say, I heard something about the expansion Golden State Valkyries. What about them? Well, they weren't included this year because they're new, but they're expected to be number 1. Their valuation has been, I've seen even as high as, $500 million. But it's expected to be above the New York Liberty and what they are, $400 million, which, by the way, Liberty, a great story. They were bought for like less than $15 million. And everyone at the time thought this was just a gift, just to keep the team in the New York metro area. It turns out now that $15 million investment has really paid off for the size. So very nice for them. But yeah, next year, expect Golden State Valkyries to be atop this list. Here's the thing. They reported $55 million in ticket sales and sponsorships. That is $20 million more than any women's team ever. The Golden State Valkyries expansion team. Not number 1 now, but when they do this list again next year, expect them to be sitting on top. All right, producer Tony, happy holidays to you, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Yeah, man. I hope your family is doing great. If you guys don't know, Tony and his wife have been married forever. They are fantastic. Their daughter is wonderful. I've never met your son-in-law. I'm sure he's great because you guys are great. Great grandson. I've known Tony, I said, more than 30 years. So it's a treat to every day sit down and get to work with him because we've been friends for so long, going back to 1993. Hey, what are some cool sports gifts that you got at Christmas that stick out for you?
We always managed to get something sports-wise related. I think my dad knew at a young age that I was just a sports fanatic. I would watch anything, everywhere, anytime, listen on the radio, read his sporting news. I just couldn't get enough sports stuff. So one of the things I got, I think I was like 8 years old. And if you remember the back pages of the JCPenney or the Sears catalog when they had the sports stuff, remember the big ads of the uniforms, the pro football uniforms for kids?
Yeah.
I wanted one of those. And I wanted an LA Rams one. Well, we lived in upstate New York. So I don't know how my old man managed to do it, but somehow he got the Rams one. It was the Roman Gabriel jersey because Roman Gabriel was the quarterback back then. I think it was like 1969. That was one of my favorite gifts of all time, getting that thing. One of my favorite sports gifts of all time was getting that uniform with the pants and the helmet and the whole deal.
That's cool. Mine was too. Same thing. Big Bear fan. So anything Bears, like in the old Sears catalog, they'd have like a Bears coat, winter coat. So that was one. I would get one of those. Once I got like a Bears cologne from Avon. It's like kind of ridiculous. But that was, Roots by Fabergé. That was cool. But I mean, it was, video games, a Coleco handheld football game, and the baseball game where you could either play it on an auto, play by yourself, or have a friend join you and have a 2-player game. Same thing. We got it in television unit one year with all the sports games. So and they were licensed by the NFL and the NBA and NHL. And so just kind of the same thing. It was a lot of sports related stuff. Big Bear fan, a lot of Bear stuff, sweatshirts, house slippers, baseball hats, you name it. Yeah.
Well, that Coleco game, I used to manipulate it. I always wanted to see how much I could score. So I would play 2 teams. So I would play both sides. So if I would take them really play one side, the other team, I would make them run straight into the line every play so that and I would make him go for it on 4th down just to see how quickly I could score again. I mean, I would score it would be 120 something to nothing at the end of the game on the game thing.
Here's how nerdy I was. I kept stats. I actually wrote down each play. It was +8. That was, it was -2 or whatever the case. And you never lost more than 2. You couldn't go backwards. It was always only a 2-yard loss. But that was,
right.
And the completion percentage was 85%, so it was crazy. But yeah, that was, who knew, the beginning of all of this. That's where it started, right there in my bedroom, playing Coleco. So, all right. Great memories. Hopefully everyone's had a wonderful and blessed Christmas. So we hope that, and we're blessed to have you guys with us here every day. Our moment of awe is up next.
Everything is expensive right now. Gas, food, you name it. You're spending more, you are making the same or less money. So, what do? You rack up credit card debt. That's what you do. It's not your fault. It's the economy. And guess what? If you rack up too much credit card debt like some of us, you can't pay your bills. Then the credit card companies, as nice as they are, start hounding you for money. Then you start your downward spiral. A smart thing for you to do is to call the Zero Debt. They can help you consolidate all your credit card bills into one affordable payment. Millions of people have done it. It works to make you debt-free. Make this free call right now. It costs you nothing to learn more.
800-507-7293. 800-507-7293. 800-507-7293. That's 800-507-7293.
Time now for a moment of awe. And it was 59 years ago this week, 1967, when Joe Namath made history as the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a season. His Jets winning at San Diego 42-31. To put that in comparison, now, longer season, granted, 3 quarterbacks already with 4,000 yards in the NFL. Another half dozen or so could reach that before the end of the regular season. And there you go. That's our moment of awe. Thanks so much for joining us here. And hopefully, again, you're having a blessed holiday. Please be safe. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Sports IQ.
Thanks for listening to Sports IQ with Larry Smith, Monday through Friday. Continue the conversation at Sports IQ LS. We'll see you next time.